Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna share with you 5 study techniques you should try out in this school academic year. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first study technique called SQ3R method. So I've just tried today and I can see that the efficiency of this is real, guys. So how to do that? First, S is for survey, and now I am reading some of the standout feature and write it down on a note so that I will know exactly what this article is about. The second thing is Q, stand for question. So formulate questions around the chapter's content. For example, like what did you know about this chapter without reading first? So I can form questions like what did I know about the extinction of dinosaurs before reading the article? And the question number 2 may be what is this chapter about? Number 3 is some possible hypotheses about the extinction of dinosaurs, and so more on. So remember to formulate questions so that whenever you're started reading, you will have something to do. You pause reading and then answer the questions you have formulated before. Step number 3 is read. So you begin reading the full chapter thoroughly and then answer the questions you've just formed before, as I've mentioned earlier. So you can put circle the new words like me and then you look it up later when you're answering the question. So now it's time to answer the question. You can both answer from your memory or you can based on the article content and then answer it like this. And while reading, you can also look up some new words too, because new words are really important. It is the foundation of all the things out there. By the way, this article I've taken from National Geographic in case you want to learn more about the extinction of dinosaurs like me. Alright, and step number 5 is recite. So you can both recite by writing down or recite by speaking out loud. So now I am speaking out loud and then I take my teddy bears, just imagine them as my students, and then I am a teacher and I just explain whatever I can remember to them like this. This is active recall method, really effective and efficient. And step number 5, I'm sorry, I've just mentioned is step number 4th, and now step number 5th is review regularly. So I will tell you about spaced repetition, which is a technique about reviewing and revising new concept regularly in this video later. So once you finish reading this chapter and then reciting, it's really important to review this material to fully understand it. You can quiz yourself by some past papers, or you can read out loud like me. I normally do because I don't want to do something that's time consuming, like do past paper. It takes me 1 hour to do that. So reviewing by speaking out loud also a very good option if you want to save your time. Really rare news about the material that slides into the earth. So maybe volcanic activity is the truly culprit of the extinction of dinosaurs. Yeah, I've thought the same as you after reading the second hypothesis. But in the third part, it's not true at all. All the hypotheses maybe not true. Because maybe volcanism weakened the ecosystem enough to make them vulnerable to an incoming meteor. Or maybe these 2 hypotheses happened at that time, 66 million years ago. Maybe the volcanic eruption happened before the material reached the earth and it caused some certain decline of the dinosaurs' extinction. And then the extraterrestrial material outside the earth flied into the earth and caused a huge explosion and put the end to the species. But it's debated, but no one has come to the conclusion yet. It's a very controversial issue around the world. No one knows exactly what causes the extinction, and maybe years, more decades, or even centuries to find the answer. So After all, we haven't found the answer yet. Study method number 2 you can try this year is to do retrieval practice, or in another word, more common, active recall. So you have a lot of methods and ways to adopt active recall in your studies. And one way I normally do is to form questions instead of writing exactly whatever in the textbook or copying it on your notebook. It is some kind of passive in my opinion, so form question. Or if you don't want to form question because you think it's so challenging, you can also make flashcard like me. So now I am using the app called GoodNotes, and we have the flashcard feature of this. So just do like me, and then we can have a flashcard template. So in the first page called question, you can write down the question like what is retrieval practice, or what is some question you want to revise later. After that, in the next page is the answer. You write down the answer of that question to revise later. And there you go, finish a flashcard. And what to do next? So if you notice furthermore, you can see we have the 3 dots, and then you scroll down a little bit. Flashcard, click on it, and it will appear like this. So you answer that question, it appears on the screen, and you click it on it again. We have 3 levels to access our understanding: again, good, or easy. If you click again, it will repeat the question. And here the result. It also recommends you the exact date you can revise in order to remember it more. In this case, it's the 25th on the 2022. Study technique number 3 is spaced repetition, like this. Spaced repetition. And based on this technique, we have a diagram called the forgetting curve. I don't even remember when and by whom it was created, but just look on this diagram. So we can identify immediately that we have 2 groups. First is the memory retention, and second is the elapsed time or days. This is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and so on. So as you can see, this is the first time you learned a new concept. Your memory will 100%. And after, like, for example, here is 1 hour. After an hour, without revising again, you will forget 10%. And at the end of the day, you will forget at least 20%. And the same way, if you don't revise anything at all at the end of the week, you will forget at least, here, you will forget at least 10%. Like 90% of the new concept you have forgotten. Without revising, you will forget that way. But if you apply the techniques-based repetition as I've just told before, you will remember it every single day. Day 1, 100%. Day 2, adopt spaced repetition, 100%. Day 3, apply spaced repetition, 100%, and so on. Even though at the end of the week, you also remember 100% if you revise it regularly. For example, after 1 hour, after 30 minutes, after 1 hour, after 3 hours, after a day, after a week, a month, and so on. So here is the spaced repetition schedule you can try following. Day 1, learn the material in class, or you can self-studying a new concept. Day 2, revisit and review your notes, your lecture, your textbook, or just simply answer the questions actively as I've just told you before, or use flashcards. Day 3, like the day 2, revisit and review. After 1 week, revisit and review, and after 2 weeks, revisit and review. You can see that the interval of the times you review the new concept, it increases day by day or week by week. Like 1 week, you need revise 2 weeks, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and so on. So it increases gradually so that you don't need to revise it regularly, because this new concept is already from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. You can read it out loud or memorize it whenever you want. At any given time, you don't forget it. So remember, spaced repetition, really effective. Thank you. Study tip number 4, which is a little bit weird and crazy if you first use it, but I think that it's a lot effective than others. It is teach others. So in order to teach others, you need to understand really well about this topic. But if you don't have a partners to explain to, you can also use teddy bear like me. Last but not least, the study tip number 5 is take notes. Well, I know that all of you guys, if you're students or college, you definitely have to take notes either on iPad, on laptop, or on paper. But here I will describe more like an advanced taking notes skill. It is using color coding. So as you can see here that I use a lot of colors. I use pink colors, I use highlighters, some pictures, and yeah, I use like really a lot of colors. And whenever I need to revise it, I look on my notes and I will have some motivation and inspiration to revise it. Because if just imagine that if your notes are colorful or it's vivid, you will have more chances to revise it rather than a notes full of words, sentences. Yeah, so definitely try this out. Oh, and by the way, this is when I am taking notes of my English lesson on class. I don't remember it anymore because like it's today, yes, it's today, but it's topic about education, and here are some new phrases I've learned about education. So in case you wonder what I am writing about, then read the answer. About back to school 2022, because now I'm really busy to prepare for the next academic year. I have to prepare textbooks, learn some more new concepts, so that whenever the week is the first week of school coming, I don't need to overwhelmed or stressed out because of a pile of homework my teacher gave for me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.